What's up?
What's good?
All right, guys.
You can hear both of us pretty good, Bobby?
Loud and clear.
All right, good. Making sure.
Yeah, welcome, you guys. Everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Josh.
And you guys are now tuned in to the Pogona Experience, the only bearded dragon podcast that matters. Today's guest is going to be Liberty Dragons. You guys can all hear me. Man, my shit's hella lagging on the other screen. So you guys, I tried to use another phone so I could watch the video so all your comments come up, but it's kind of lagging. I don't know if it's gonna work as well as I wanted it to.
Yeah, my comments always lag too. The last one, I didn't get all the comments to the very end.
Well, what's up, Bobby from Liberty Dragons? How you doing today?
Not bad, not bad.
Ooh, thank you for taking some time out of your day to hop on the podcast with us and talk some bearded dragons.
No doubt.
I know he's very busy with all those eggs he has cooking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's got to be an exciting day. I saw you pulled some eggs today. What was that? What was that clutch from?
It's all citrus work over here this year, pretty much. So that's another. It's one of the citrus pairings. She dropped the third clutch today. So
Nice.
Third already of the year.
Yep.
Sheesh.
I think we're working on 160 plus eggs so far in the incubator.
I do not envy you whatsoever.
Damn, he's like doubling me, almost tripling me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy year.
What about the wits? What do you got? What do you got working with whiplets this year?
Nothing visual this year. It's gonna be het wits this year.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with
all heads this year. I'm gonna definitely have to scoop some of those because if you guys want to produce visuals, you need heads. So sometimes you get that diamond in the rough, and it makes a beautiful diamond one day.
Well,
so Josh, I'll let you get it started. You want to ask Bobby a question before the live gets cracking?
Yeah. Let me think where I want to start this. So I kind of like to do generic questions in the beginning because I know people are going to ask the questions that I want to ask. But
right.
what got you started in just the reptile community, not just bearded dragons?
The reptile community. It would have to be dragons. I mean, I'm an animal lover at heart, period. So really, no matter what the animal, I'm gonna love on it. But yeah, bearded dragons is kind of where my heart fell as far as reptiles are concerned. I'm not really I don't do snakes. I just got my first frilled dragon.
Nice.
So we're gonna check out. It was so far so cool. It's a really neat species to work with so far. But yeah, I mean, bearded dragons is where my heart is. So.
No, man, that's awesome. And do you remember like your first dragon? Was it a rescue? Did you buy it? Was it a gift? Like, you know what I mean?
My first dragon was actually was my son's. He got one for his birthday one year from his grandmother. It was just a pet store, bearded dragon, and
fancy.
It was a present for him, but I was really the one that took it on. You know what I mean?
For
and
sure.
That day, I mean, I never looked back.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Bobby, how long have you actually been breeding? And how long ago was this that you got this bearded dragon from your that you inherited it from your son?
How long ago was that? What was that, about 5-6 years ago or something like that?
Okay.
So I've been keeping dragons for about 6 years, but breeding them for about half of that, so about 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, Josh, I should be getting 160 eggs. It's my third year. I should be right there. Hopefully these other girls, do what they're supposed to do and drop these damn eggs.
I'd I'd rather have one solid clutch because I mean, you guys know how it is. Like people don't understand. Like when you have anything close to 100 babies, that's work. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you get off of work to go into work.
Yep.
So I mean, it's people don't understand. Like especially if you do it right, and then you got to worry about nips, and you got to worry about weighing them, and it's a lot. So 160, that's
That's a lot. That's a busy year.
Yep.
it's a lot of poop cleaning.
I love every minute of it.
No, for sure.
So, Bobby, what is your favorite morph, or and it doesn't have to be something you're working with currently. Just like, what is your favorite one on the market?
That's a good question.
I'd probably have to say I really like the Whiplet morph.
Nice.
That's probably got to be. I don't know. I feel like that morph is still really untapped.
No, I preach that all the time to Josh, that Whiplets still has so much potential. People haven't done enough with it.
For sure. I mean, it's only been out. I mean, it's been out for a few years, but like anything, I mean, people have been breeding citruses for 20, 30 years. I mean, Whiplets are what, maybe 5, 10 years old. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and I was actually talking to Bobby, and he was telling me that one of the people that he looks up to in the industry is someone I want to definitely get on the podcast. But he's like the champion of Whiplets.
Oh yeah.
That'd be Dustin Hellens. If you guys haven't checked him out at Optimum Reptiles, man, they're producing some killer Whiplets, colored Whiplets.
Yep.
They got the top-notch Whiplets going on over there for sure.
And he's a cool and he's a cool dude too. I talked to him a couple times, and he seems like a genuine guy.
He is. I spoke with Dustin many times over the phone and through text, and just regular bullshit conversation. He's a really legit dude. He's got a crazy amount of knowledge. He's one of my favorite go-tos, of course, for anything that I'm, that I need. If something that I don't know or that I'm unsure of, he's my first phone call. So he's definitely someone you're going to enjoy bringing on.
All right, one second. I got a question, because I know Bobby likes to talk about colors and all the crazy names people come up with. So this person says, so citrus considered a morph or a color? First off, before I let Bobby go on any rants, because I already know he likes to do that with this, it's a color. Color is not a morph. Morphs are like your translucent, your hypo, your dunners, your leatherbacks, a genetic trait. That's something you more that isn't a trait that you breed for, like a morph like that. It is a trait. It's not a morph. I take that back. It is definitely a trait. It's not a morph though. So Bobby likes to get on people about calling reds all kinds of, gang of names, every descriptive name in the dictionary, when really you guys, well, I'm gonna let him touch on this one, because
I was gonna say.
So Bobby, what do you think about colors and people, what they call them?
I just did a post a little while ago where where another breeder, where he basically said, I'm gonna let you be the judge of what my colors animal is.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the exact genetics of it, and I'm going to let you run with the rest of it.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely perfect.
Perfect.
I couldn't have said it or worded it any better than how he did.
And that's actually a good friend of mine, Jake from State Farm. Jake from Flamin' Hot Dragons.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah. Well, just like what you said, color is not a morph. It's more or less a way to describe the animal. It's citrus is a color. It's a type of yellow that the dragon's gonna be. And with these reds drive me freaking crazy. Half of these reds aren't even red.
No,
I feel like Yeah, I totally feel like they went from yellow to red and skipped orange. Like, you see nobody use orange to describe their dragon.
It's
It's
like,
oh, this is a light red, this is a dark red, this is a bit kind of red, this is yellow. But I don't ever see anybody be like, yeah, this is a bright tangerine orange or something like that. Like, you just
right. And some of those terms like citrus have been coined for a very long time now from some very, you know, OG breeders. Like the person that coined citrus has been around a really long time and kind of deserved to call their animals that, because they, you know, they the ranks, they put in their time, their effort, they have generation after generation of their line. So I kind of feel like they kind of deserve to call, you know, if they call the dragons citrus dragons, go ahead. You know, but you kind of have, to me, you kind of have to earn that. You can't come in first, second, third year and say, you know, this is my, you know, super hot, you know, flaming Frito dragon. I don't
blood red dragon monster. Yeah.
This is my cherry apple fire truck engine red.
Yeah, it's
know?
silly. It's just silly. You know, focus, and meanwhile, you have a tub, you know, that doesn't have doobie in it. You know what I mean? At home, you can't put your dragons, but you're naming them. Come on, you know, it's. Let's focus on the real stuff. Like, get your dragons healthy. Let's get them up to size, and then, you know, we'll worry about the fun stuff later. But let's get the ABCs done first. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the line between traits and morphs get blurred a lot with bearded dragons, because there's just not a lot of information out there, not a lot of people talking about it or separating it for and unfortunately, this is not an attack on any of the audience, but a lot of people are younger generation getting into breeding right now. So like the older generation, I don't feel like passes on a ton of information to the younger guys. And, you know, it could be, potentially, it could be our fault for how we come to them for information. So I'm not going to say it's all their fault, but a lot of the older generation that has been breeding for the last 10 years, not a lot of them put out a ton of information.
Very old school.
It's hard to find information out there. So when you get some rookie in the breeding that starts breeding dragons and he just starts putting out information, a lot of people cling to that because they're giving out any type of information and it's hard for them to find information. So always make sure that you're getting multiple sources. Don't just use one source for your information. I always try to tell people that, because, and that's why we bring guests on here, because this is different points of views.
Right.
Bobby doesn't breed like I breed. Josh definitely doesn't breed like I breed. We probably all use similar systems, but it's not the exact same way.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the main reasons why Jeremiah Jeremiah started the podcast, and I just kind of helped him with it. But you know, because when you Google stuff, you see on YouTube a little number. It's like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. You know, I think the last person that has done something similar to this, and was active, was what's his name? Michael something, like We Be Reptiles or whatever. He used to post like every single day. And
Yeah.
he would, I mean, I'm not saying everything he did was correct and on point, but he was out there. He was showing exactly how he housed his dragon, how he imported them. So, I mean, not for nothing, but that's something that people need to see is the whole process, good and bad.
Right. That's true. There was a little bit more transparency.
Yeah. I mean, he does stuff. I'm like, why would you post that? But he did stuff that I'm like, wow, that's a good idea. And I've used some of his stuff. You know what I mean? Like making my own incubator or the tub setups. You know, he did that before. A lot of people will. I take it back. He posted it before a lot of people did, and he was kind of one of the first pet tubers or whatever you call them that showed the good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he kind of showed himself how he was. So.
Right.
And I think we need more of that, because even if it's, you know, like a simple mistake that you made and you feel really dumb about it and you don't want to share it with other people, what you don't understand is that, yeah, it was a simple mistake, but somebody else could be making that simple mistake, and you could really help them just by passing on that knowledge that you fucked up one time.
Right.
You showed that you fucked up one time. Maybe it helps someone else not fuck up. because passing on that knowledge, no matter what, a mistake isn't a mistake unless it's made twice. A mistake made once is just a lesson learned. A mistake made twice, that's just you're at your own fault. You tried to, you know, what do they call it? Insanity. You tried to do the same thing and expected a different outcome.
Yeah.
Right.
Any comments? Do your countless hours of research first, then come to us breeders. I agree, JK, 100%.
Oh yeah, Christy, you already know we come correct when we come to Christy, and that's one thing that we're definitely going to have on the podcast too. I know I've been talking her into it, going back and forth. She's going to be brave. I'm telling you guys right now, we're going to get her on here eventually. She'll braven up and come talk with us. I know she's got a ton of information. She's been doing it for a long time, so that's definitely a veteran that I want to get on the podcast as well. And like I said, you guys, this is all to pass on information. I mean, I'm not going to bring on guests like Bobby and be like, hey, what'd you fuck up? You know, like tell everybody your fuck ups. Like, that's not what this is about. But, you know, if he wants to share a story like, hey, you guys, this is what happened to me one year and it helps you guys, or him just talking about colors right now, that should help a ton of people clear up a million questions they have, because people are always asking me, like, what color is your bearded dragon? Like, it's simple. It's yellow, it's orange, or it's red, or it's like a classic, or you get the whiplets that are gray with some marbling, or you get the zeros. Like, if you did enough information before you came to me and asked me what color my bearded dragon was, you should be able to tell me the traits and the color, and I don't even have to tell you, unless it's like an extremely small baby and you can't see its nails. That's the only one I'm going to let pass. Any other trait or genetic, you should be able to see when you're buying the bearded dragon. If you're asking someone what it is, you probably shouldn't even be buying it, to be honest.
Or just look at the parents. That's the biggest thing, is like, what's my dragon? Okay, well, what was the parents? You know what I mean? Yep. I can tell you what your baby most likely is just by what the parents were. You know what I'm saying? Before I even look at the baby. Mom was a hypo, dad's a hypo. Okay, baby's a hypo. I already know that off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those things.
Well, the thing is not to get all caught up in all these, you know, all these goofy names, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Look, pay more attention to, you know, what that animal looks like. What's the structure of that animal? You know, what's the health looking like? Eating, is it, you know, what do the parents look like? Like, dive a little deeper than just the fancy names, you know? People dump a lot of money into these animals. You want to do a little more homework than just wanting to know what the fancy name is.
And definitely, you want to know what the parents look like, because that's a lot of what's going to go into the baby. The baby could look super ugly at a month old, 30 days old. It's not going to look that great. It can transform into something crazy, though, and you don't even know, and you passed up on a great buy,
right?
Or something great to add to your collection.
Or the opposite,
you just don't have that eye yet.
Or the opposite way. You think you're buying something super dope when it's a baby and it doesn't develop like you think it was gonna.
Oh, yeah. So when I first started, like 3 years ago, I put a Craigslist ad that I was buying bearded dragons. Like, I didn't go on there looking for bearded dragons to buy, but I put a ad on there that I was buying bearded dragons and what I wanted. Dude, I swear everyone would send me pictures of these little normals, like, yeah, I just bought this at Petco, you know, do you want to buy it? I'm like, no, that thing is not going to amount to anything that I want to put in my collection.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to breed a bearded dragon that's only worth $50, $60. I want to spend money on, which I learned, you know, that was a learning process on my own. Like, Craigslist obviously isn't the place to look for when you're trying to, you know, look for genetics and shit that you want to breed. So, yeah, definitely don't do that. You know, buy from a breeder that has known genetics. And I can tell you, every person that has bred all my bearded dragons, except one of them, or 2 of them that are rescues, and they're not in my breeding stock anyway. So it doesn't matter where they came from. They're just living their best life here.
That's it.
Actually, me and Bobby actually not met on Craigslist, but I had posted a really nice male on Craigslist. You know, I get a message talking to some person. I'm like, yeah, cool, man, you know, whatever. We start going back and forth, and he's like, and then he says, I had this male. We're talking. I'm like, I've seen that male before. And I'm like, what's your Instagram? He's like, Liberty Dragons. I'm like, dude, I follow you. And we ended up making the trade. I still have my citrus boy from him,
That's
and
bad.
it's so Craigslist isn't always bad. It
Not
just
always.
depends on who you do business with.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, but I've had some sketchy encounters on Craigslist, so I will say that.
Oh,
For
sure.
100%.
I
And
mean,
then
like Craigslist.
to piggyback off you, Jeremiah, and also as breeders, I've sold babies that I'm like, it's not gonna be anything, and then 6 months later, I'm like, that's not what I sold you. He's like, yeah, man, it's the same dragon I sold. I'm like, no, it's not, and it just transformed into something that I never thought it was gonna be. So
Right.
it goes both ways.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and take that from Josh, because last year was his first year producing dragons, so he was like, "Oh, okay, this one probably is not gonna, amount to nothing that I want to hold back. So all these super amazing ones, I'm gonna hold back." I guarantee you, this year, if Josh produces more dragons, that he's gonna hold back more than he did last time because of that exact reason. He's gonna know what to look out for, what traits, what might pop out more, maybe even grow them out a little bit longer before selling them off so he doesn't lose something like that.
No, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it's kind of the lottery with dragons that way. So what is it? I know, one breeder, he sold a dragon as a baby, thought it was, nothing. A couple months later, and full body paradox. Crazy.
Wait, I think that was Top Shelf, right? Yes, I would have freaked. He sold it for like $300.
Crazy. Oh my God.
Crazy.
And it transformed into a dragon that's probably worth $2,000 plus.
Full body
paradox.
Got a full suit, bro. It's crazy.
Oh my! Can you imagine?
Yeah. See, now I don't even want to get rid of anything that I'm gonna hatch this year. Yeah. Until it's like 3-4 months old, it's not going nowhere.
Right, I'm only selling adults this year. That's it.
Right.
No, that I saw that post. I'm like, no. Somebody is, and it's funny because somebody that probably bought it is somebody's like mom that bought it for their son, doesn't know what they have. You know what I mean? It's like one of those probably where they bought it for their son, doesn't, and then it just, he looks funny. Why does he look like that? And then,
Yeah, they probably thought it was sick. They're like, yeah, no, this thing's got a scale infection or something.
I'll take it back. I'll take it back from you.
Right? Yeah.
They end up hitting the jackpot.
I'd be like, yeah, no, that thing's definitely sick. Let me get that back from you. I'll trade you off for a healthy one for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's crazy. All right. We see the live is cracking, but I don't see too many questions. Just a lot of people joining in and what we're talking about. Feel free to ask any questions, you guys, for Bobby or Josh or myself. Drop them in the live. I am reading all the comments. I'm trying to keep up with everything. So if you guys got any questions for any of us, drop them in the comments. I'll read them all out until we get some more questions. Josh, you got any questions for him?
Let me think.
I think I asked the last one. If not, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, ask him. I'm trying to find a charger, so you can ask him one while I.
All right, Bobby. So, in the next 3 to 5 years, where do you see Liberty Dragons going? Like, what direction of morphs do you want to work with? Do you see yourself having a shop, full-time breeding? Like, what do you see in the future of Liberty Dragons?
That's a good question. I think I'm just gonna kind of let it morph into whatever it's gonna morph into. Kind of let it organically grow. Whatever it does is what it does. I know I would like to try into, which is again more on the wit side. Start bringing. I would love to see some, absolute gorgeous, citrus orange wits. That absolutely glow and give Red a break for a minute. But yeah, I to me, citrus is one of the most underrated colors, in dragon today, I think. With the focus being on, so much days. It's kind of like the little giant. It's weird. There's not it doesn't get a whole lot of the limelight, but at the same time, I can't keep them. You know, I can't, you know, you guys are shocked by the 160 eggs I got, but I bet you I won't have a problem, you know, really selling them. Because I have people in, you know, my DMs, you know, wanting really nice citrus animals because there's not a whole lot of breeders out there right now doing them.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's good to hear because I have seen the decline in people breeding citrus, and I do see people still asking for them, but that's good to see that there's still a huge market for them because I do think citrus are super cool too. Of course, red is like the super popular thing right now, importing, you know, the Chinese reds, the super darks, the super brights, the Czechs and the Spanish reds. So that's like obviously the hype right now. I think it will settle down, but yeah, I'm super with you on the wits. I want to see wits with tons of color. I just want to see like the all red patternless wit or an all yellow, all orange, whatever it is. I just want to see a fully colored wit that shows no gray, no nothing, just full color, no pattern.
yeah, like I said earlier, I'm excited about that wit gene. I still think it's you know, we have a lot of work to do with that. You know, it's not like the zero gene where, you know, it's kind of a dead end. You know,
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and you know,
capped yourself there with that one, huh?
and to me, you know, once you've seen one, you kind of seen them all. To me, it got boring real quick for me anyway. That's how I feel about the zero. It's kind of like it's came in all hot and heavy, and it's kind of fizzling out right now. So it's
Sure.
But I think, you know, within the next couple of years, you know, I think the color is going to come back, and people are going to fall out of, you know, not fall out of love with zeros, but but give wits more of an eye. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
And zeros are super cool. I don't have anything against them. I love the all white color. It looks beautiful, but
yeah,
it's
nice
also
white dragon, nothing like it. You know, really a collection isn't complete without a zero. So
yeah. It's definitely that top you know, one you want to add to your collection. Even if you don't ever breed it, if you just have it, it's so beautiful to show off. You know, it's definitely something I want to add to my collection. I don't know if I want to breed for zeros, just because, you know, that's not where I'm headed. I'm more on the wits, the colored wits, dunners, trans. I like adding all that to Whitblitz, so definitely I'm strong in the Whitblitz with you there, Bobby.
yeah, that just got a lot of potential, and I just like you said, it's a newer gene like the zero, and it's still, you know, it still deserves more attention, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So I got a couple little side wit projects going on with the yellow stuff, but we'll see where it goes.
For sure. Speaking of that, there's a question that Bobby can answer first. I just started breeding dragons, and I wanted to know if you guys consider being a hobbyist breeder or a hobbyist breeder, or I'm assuming they meant or full-time job, or for a full-time job. They worded it weird.
I think to me, being a full-time dragon breeder and, you know, paying your bills with it is really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
You would have to pump so many animals out and have people lined up to buy them. I mean, to me, it's just it's doable because there are breeders out there doing it, but it's not for me. I have a full-time job that I go to, you know, Monday through Friday, and I come home to my dragons and I do my little side business here with them. And this is cool for me, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't know if it'll ever be full-time dragons. I want to what is it? I do want to go transition from what I am doing right now for a living into reptile and animal education and stuff like that. But breeding full-time would definitely be for me like working like a teacher when you only get paid, you know, once a month and you have to budget. I would literally only get paid maybe three months out of the year, and then make that last until the next season, and just putting all of that stress on your incubator. If that incubator messes up, that's literally your livelihood, and the only income that I would potentially have at that time. So full-time breeding, I don't know if that'll ever be something that I do. Reptiles, in general, is something that I do want to get into more as a professional job. But at the moment, growing weed and breeding reptiles is the profession I have.
Yeah, and for me, I don't think me personally would ever see myself breeding full time. I'm with the fire department, and that's my other true passion. Is just helping people and just being in the community for people. But when it comes to dragons and animals in general, like we also breed sugar gliders, we also breed French bulldogs. When you do stuff for money, you kind of have a different mindset towards it, and you're not necessarily always looking out for the animal's best interest, in my opinion. So that's why just me, I don't think I would ever want to rely on me selling an animal or animals to pay my bills, because then you start putting an animal's life or their livelihood over, hey, well, if I don't sell him or her, then my lights are going to cut off, or I'm not going to have food for the family. You know what I mean? So personally, keeping it as a hobby or like a side job is perfect for me. It keeps everybody nice and happy, and it keeps everything on both sides, because if I don't sell my babies, then I don't sell them. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not breeding croc monitors or anything, guys. Remember, these are bearded dragons. Like, I mean, at best, most high-end bearded dragons, like top end, are like $1,200. So you're not even buying one croc monitor for that, or one lace monitor, or one black dragon. Like, there's other reptiles that people are breeding, and if you notice, most people that are doing it as a profession aren't only breeding one species.
Yeah.
They're breeding multiple species because they breed different times of the year. So, right, bearded dragon season, it's tegu season. I believe iguanas are breeding right now. So there's a lot of things going on. There's different seasons. You'll see a lot of people do tortoises and turtles and reptiles. So definitely you need one space, a lot of time, and I think you would have to put some money away before you ever took that venture to make sure that you could pay your bills without having those eggs hatched this year. If you could be fully able to pay your bills for 2 years without needing any outside income,
Yeah.
Maybe that would be worth taking a risk, but I personally don't have that.
What were you going to say, Bobby, earlier?
No, I was just going to agree. It's just I think we make it look easy for the people who don't do it, for real.
Yeah.
What we post on Instagram isn't like a fifth of what actually is really going on behind the scenes, and how much time and effort and money we put back into it, and and all that. Like, it's crazy. It's and the amount of work goes up incredibly, after your second dragon, really. So it's
no. So I've been thinking about that too. I've been wanting to vlog, like, actually what I do behind the scenes, so everybody could kind of get like a visual of what that does. So I was thinking about dropping a video that I make myself on the YouTube of like what I did that week for the bearded dragons, because stuff's always going on, and it's never an easy day, but it's always something that keeps my mind thinking, that keeps me working. I'm constantly learning. I'm stimulating my mind. So that's what I love at the end of the day. That feeling that I'm using my brain, working hard, not just physically. Sometimes it's mentally. So I wanted to make like a vlog and drop that video once a week that does show that, the hundreds of dollars that go out every week that we don't account for because it just gets spent without a thought on greens, on
Bugs.
beardy buffet, you know, anything, bugs especially, lights. Like people don't understand. I mean, we've given out the plug on the lights, so I can't really say lights because everyone knows we get those for cheap. But you know, these enclosures weren't cheap. The work that we put in to pay for all of this stuff, like I sometimes think we don't personally add it up enough to show other people. So I wanted to do it for myself to kind of get an estimate of how much money I personally spend, because I don't track all that. I don't keep receipts. Mentally, I kind of think about how much is going out just because I want to keep that number in my head for how much has got to come back in. But really, at the end of the day, it's all throwing darts at a dartboard. I have no idea. I have no real statistics.
No, that's good. Just give, you know, especially for, like you said, the ones that are learning, that want to just get a little glimpse of what it takes. You know, a day in the life of a breeder. You know.
Yeah, they think because I got 20 bearded dragons, I'm gonna make 40 grand this year. Like that's definitely not gonna happen.
Listen, if you guys would understand what I mean, I can't speak for them, but what I spend just on average on just bugs, you guys would be like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? So people are like, oh, you're making a killing, man. You sold that dragon for $300. I'm like, yeah, I just bought 1,000 roaches with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
one dragon just paid for all the roaches to feed the rest of the dragons while I try to sell them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Or like I said, I mean, I'm giving you guys a little sneak peek, but I just bought a bunch of enclosures. If anybody knows anything about enclosures, they're not cheap to build. Or I mean, you can build them cheap, but after you do the math, they're not as cheap as you actually thought they were going to be. And it's just everything is money.
Science now.
What's that?
I said I got that down to a science now. That I built all my own enclosures, so I got.
Yeah.
That was my next question for Bobby, so I'm glad you actually brought that up, because this guy right here is the DIY champion at building enclosures. Like, if you guys want to, I don't know, he doesn't put out enough videos, so get on his ass now. He needs to put out more videos on that shit, because, definitely, this guy builds the best enclosures, hatchling racks. Like, he's always prepared for what he's got coming in the future. He gets ready for it before it happens, and he does it all himself. Like, I don't have a truck. I mean, I got a decent sized SUV. I could probably go buy sheets of melamine and everything. I'm personally lazy and slack off when it comes to that part of building out the red zone. I'd rather give a little bit more money to someone to have them secure that for me, instead of me putting all that time. But Bobby over here is killing it all the time. I wish I was more on his level with these. His enclosures look great.
Sure.
Appreciate that. Well, the thing with your own, you know, you can build it however you want. You know, when you buy from somebody else, they're all prefab and they all come in a standard size and standard shape, and
they're literally never the same size that you order. I'll tell you that. They're always a half-inch, quarter-inch, an inch bigger, shorter, fucking wider. Really? Like, no matter what you order, it is literally never the exact measurements of what you order. I'll tell you that right now. Unless you do it yourself,
really,
it's never the exact measurements.
Yeah, so, like, I just bought enclosures, and I bought 10, and I have 2 stacks right next to each other. And like you said, they're about a quarter-inch off. Like, I mean, they're not. I mean, not like, oh my god, but like if you stare, you know, they're a tiny bit off. They're on the same floor. They're built the exact same way.
Yeah, like
mine. They're off by like nothing.
Mine are 3 feet by 18 by 18. So most people think, okay, so the outside of my enclosure is going to be 36 inches. I think they are like 37 inches, and they're like 19 inches tall altogether. So, like, those aren't something that you think about, because when I was thinking, I was like, that added 4 inches because I got 4 enclosures. So at the end of the day, or about 2 inches. So it was a little bit taller. Now, if that was my roof, it wouldn't have fit. But if I built that myself, it would have. Those are things that you really want to look into when you're buying an enclosure. Get the exact measurements of like the outside and the inside. volume.
There you go.
Bobby don't got to worry about that though, because he's the DIY craftsman, building everything he needs.
You know, if you're handy, you might as well take advantage. So
For sure.
No, definitely. I'm handy, just freaking like I said, I'm way too lazy. I should be taking way more advantage of that. I'm definitely young enough to be slinging that shit around, and I got all the tools to do it. I've just been slacking.
well, you know, if you really map it out and do it right, like you can get Home Depot to cut most of it for you.
Yeah.
You know, and just take.
And I bet you after I did it
put
one
together.
time, I'd be like, yeah, this is the way. I've been just wasting my time. But
Yeah, but you have to have.
It's getting that one time down. I just got.
You have to have the exact measurements though. Like you have to, like you said, because I did that when I first started building my enclosures, and with the girl, she's like, "Oh yeah, you can come right back. I'll be done." So I took her word for it. Got home, and she had it all jacked up. I mean, horrible. So then I had to go fix her cuts with my saw, and then it went from like a 48-inch enclosure to like a 36 because I kept making errors. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, right now I'm in the middle of building my frilly enclosure, and it's the biggest one I've built so far. So figuring out like the heat, humidity, and these bigger enclosures,
Yeah,
it's kind of a pain in the ass to be honest.
Yeah, I saw that enclosure. It looks pretty sick. What are the dimensions on that? Like 3 feet by?
It's basically 2 foot deep, 3 foot wide by 4 foot tall.
Yeah, that thing looked pretty gnarly. And the frilly's pretty small right now, right?
Yeah, he's still small, but he's already outgrown like a standard 40-gallon.
yeah.
You know, even though he's smaller than, he's only, about the same size of like a 4-month-old beardy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just because of the species and the amount of like space they need, especially vertical space, they need more room to run around. So
Yeah.
So is he pretty tame? Does he like eat out of tongs, or does he come to you or anything?
he's
He's a dick.
cage until you get him in your hand. You know what I mean? Once you get him in your hand, you calm him down a little bit. He's cool, but it's rowdy. He's cool though. You know, I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daddy,
Dustin
probably.
always posts pictures of like the little guys always frailing up, and they look so funny. They're cute.
I love
little
the
guys.
adults. The adults when they kind of hop around the floor in his little reptile room. I
Oh,
think that's the funniest thing in the world.
Those are like the big ass ones though. Those are full grown, like
Yeah.
running on their back feet. Those
Oh, I
ones are
wait.
crazy.
I can't wait till my boy gets big. I'm gonna send him down the hallway and like.
Honestly, I didn't even know until I started following Dustin. I didn't even know they got that big. Like,
Yeah,
I
they
thought
get pretty big.
Stayed pretty freaking small. And then I started following him. I started seeing all his posts and stuff. I was like, Jesus Christ, those things are huge.
They're about bodies are like, full-grown male. It's like the same size of like a full-grown beard. Heads are so much bigger, you know?
Yeah. You got going on, Josh?
Sorry, the plastic is bugging the shit out of me. I'm staring at it. For those of you, I'm in the middle of redoing the reptile room with the new enclosure, so I got them set up, and I was trying to finish before the podcast so I could show you guys, but yeah, I'm nowhere near done.
Did your banner come in today?
Which one? The
one I sent.
I gotta check the mail, but I don't think so.
I didn't
Mine
track it,
came in, but
I didn't track it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's came in yet. Probably tomorrow.
Also, guys, for everybody that comes on the podcast, you do get one of these stickers. Bobby, we got yours coming tomorrow. Getting sent out in the envelope. So, special stickers for all of our guests that come on. The only sticker you can't buy, you have to earn it. I'm trying to see if there's any more. Yeah, see, even Christy from JK Dragon says, Bobby, you need to make more videos of your enclosures because you don't do that enough.
Somebody also asked, how many dragons do you have?
How many?
Not babies, just I guess adults.
Adults? I have.
Yeah, adults.
Not including babies. Okay.
Like adults or?
So
Yeah, I guess they said adults.
anything that's not a baby that you're trying to sell, how many do you have in your personal collection? Like holdbacks, all that.
Well, right now I don't have anything for sale, but I do have some younger ones that I'm growing up.
Are they going to be for sale? So don't count those.
No, they won't. They're hopeful breeders.
Okay, count those then.
We're at
87. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I was like, holy shit.
No, I'm in the 20s, like 22, 23.
Holy shit.
Okay. Someone asked if they put grow weed ? Yeah, I don't actually grow weed. I work for a facility or a company that does legally cultivate cannabis. Not myself personally. So no, I'm not like drug dealer or anything like that, guys. No cool job like that. Somebody asked how many videos have you made, Bobby? Have you made any enclosure videos?
I have not made any. No, maybe I should.
Man, it sounds like you're extra slacking on the enclosure videos. I think you'd be killing it on YouTube. You're going to make a YouTube video of enclosures and you're going to get more subscribers than our freaking podcast overnight.
Yeah. I guess.
That's going to be way more popular than people
I
talk for an hour.
I do have to build some more, so maybe I should do like a start to finish type deal.
Yeah. Don't give away all your secret, measurements and stuff. Just send those to my DM, and we won't share those. But yeah, definitely take a video of that. Someone from Vietnam. Oh yeah, doesn't this person come in all the time from Vietnam?
Yeah, from Vietnam. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Bro, it's so.
Do you know
Vietnam? Nice.
About Okinawa ground geckos? I have no idea.
I have no idea about any ground geckos. I don't even know about geckos. I know that I want to get some gargoyle geckos, but that's all I know. How many enclosures do you have, Bobby, at your facility or your place right now?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 12, and then really.
Sheesh, and you built all those?
Yeah.
Dude.
And
like
you could probably
12 videos behind, Bobby. 12 videos behind already.
What? Yeah. So I think I did the math when I was building mine. What is it? You could build out of one sheet. You could build one enclosure, right? Like a 36. I know it's something like that. You can build one per sheet if you do it right.
My enclosure dimensions aren't the same as a standard 40 gallon. I don't do 36 wide. I only do 32 wide. But I do 20 deep. Like I go deeper. So mine's more of a box, more of a square rectangle.
Yeah.
That's how my hatchling stack is.
I feel like it works better, for me and my draft. I like those dimensions.
No, I like it for sure too. I'm gonna try to split it actually down the middle for the babies when I start getting too many, so I can put like 3 to 5 and have what would that be, like all 40 in a stack if I split it down the middle, because then it would be 20 inches back, it would be 18 inches wide, and it would be 8 inches tall. So I think that's pretty good for that many babies.
Well, what I was noticing in a 36 wide, the dragons really weren't using, the cool side, like the last 6 inches a whole lot. So why have it there,
Yeah,
if
for sure.
Taking up space, they never go there.
Especially the babies. Babies usually tend to stay on the hotter side for me too. They just they're constantly eating and shitting all day, so I don't really see them on the cool side.
Well, if they're going to the cool side a lot, your hot side's way too hot. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, all of my dragons, they hover just outside the basking area, right under UV. They just kind of chill, right, and they kind of go, like you said, they probably use 60% of the enclosure, if that.
Yeah.
See, most of my guys, don't even go to the cool side until I put food on the cool side. And then they'll go over there.
Especially the greens,
usually
because
that's where I feed them.
If you put their greens near their heat, they all dry up right away. And
I hate that shit, because they don't always eat it all right away. And if you put it on the hot side, then it's all crispy, and then they definitely aren't going to eat it. I mean, who wants to eat their greens in the first place, and then let alone crispy ass?
I have one
Nobody wants
dragon that likes his salad crunchy. I don't know why the fuck he's like that, but
it. What
he
the?
lets it get dry and then he chews on it. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude, whatever.
So like my Euros will kind of eat crunchy like salad if it gets dried out, like, and I left it in there overnight. They'll eat it the next day. But they also, like I told you, they eat lentils and shit, and they like crunch it like pumpkin seed. It's terrible to hear. They're just like the weirdest things to hear eat. Makes so much noise.
No, those are cool lizards. I wouldn't mind getting into those for sure.
Josh, you got any more questions for Bobby?
Let me think what I can pull out of the question bank.
I still don't know about these geckos this guy's talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it after the podcast. Do you see yourself working with any other species, whether it's reptiles or just animals in general?
I like goats.
Goats are dope. My cousin just bought 4 goats.
No,
my
like
fucking wife wants a Siberian dwarf goat, and I will not let that shit happen.
Dude, the goats are cool as shit.
It's not happening.
No, I really like these frillies. I think, that's good. Outside of dragons, it's going to be my next adventure, with the different species. It's going to be the frillies.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, frillies are cool as shit. Did you buy yours from Dustin?
No, you heard of Sim Container?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Yeah, you got, so, I mean, that's the next, not saying the next best. I guess they're both, there's no one above the other. Sim Container is also great. If you're looking for import anything, that's definitely the guy you need to be following, because he's got the best imports that you can get, and he gets some of the rarest shit that you can get. I'm happy that they have a spot here in California, so definitely go follow them for sure. Sim Container, make sure that you're following them, because if you're looking for the next crazy thing to be on the market that you should be breeding, investment quality shit.
Right.
Sim Container's the way to go.
Yep. I mean, you guys see my frilly. He's perfect. I love the little thing. So, and then Dustin's actually the one who recommended that I go, and talk to him. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Someone said, what's your average price for your baby reds when you have them? So, I'm glad you asked that, because I've not wanted to explain this in a message to the other 30 people that I've asked. It all depends on the genetics. I don't care about the red. Like, if it was an imported dark red, then, it would be the average price for an imported dark red. If it's a bright red from Spain, then it's going to be the average price of a dark red from Spain. If it's, something just red, you guys see, I post everything. I literally have one orange dragon. Everything else is red. They're all going to be priced the same, except on their genetics. Yeah. The translucent in them, the hypo in them, if they're het wits, that's what's going to change the price, not the color that they have. Maybe the bars, if they got blue bars, that might change it. $50, $100, nothing crazy, but yeah, no, the color of red isn't going to change the price at all. I could have 3 saturated reds, and they're all hypos. They're all going to be the same price. It's not going to be a different price because of the color. We went over that earlier. Bobby touched on that a lot. They're just red, like
orange. They're orange. Most of the dragons that people are selling as reds, they're just fucking citruses or oranges.
Whoa, bro. Don't be throwing that shade over here, though. Okay, they're talking about my dragons. We aren't.
No. I'm talking in general, because I have dragons now that are from a citrus pair that are they look red in pictures, but in person they're orange. So people ask me how much for the red. I'm like, well, I don't really consider them reds. So, but they're this price. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I did breed my red G-stripe male to another red leatherback female that has blue bars. That'll probably be one of the more higher end clutches that I produced this year. I'm very excited about. And then also, if you guys follow me, and you guys know Magnum, my leatherback hypotrans, super saturated red, you know, my lava red, fire truck, candy apple red, you know, from KP's Critters. He did successfully breed with one of my rainbows. And if you guys don't know what a rainbow is, that's just a dragon, you know, that has lots of coloration through it. Okay, it literally is what it sounds like. It's got reds, it's got oranges, it's got yellows,
An
bars.
LGBT dragon.
Like, sheesh. All right, it is. She's exactly what she sounds like. She's got a rainbow of colors. So she bred normal scale het hypo to my trans hypo leatherback Magnum from KP's Critters. This is the first year I bred him. Super excited about that pairing. We should have some amazing babies from him. But for the most part, like I wouldn't say I'm gonna have anything over $500 or $600 this coming up season. So if you're looking for something, you know, to invest in, we're definitely gonna have some of that quality. And if you're looking for a pet, we're definitely gonna have some of that quality. Just remember that I might be producing wits if this collab goes as expected with John from Extreme Dragons Arizona, and my female proves out wit. Then we will have some visual wits, and then we could, you know, possibly be changing that price tag. But as far as right now, guys, expect my price tags to be like $150 to, you know, $500-600, depending on what female the clutch comes from.
For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for those Magnum babies, though. Bobby, show some dragons. I don't even know. Bobby, are you in your room right now? You got dragons to show off? Some people are asking. I don't know.
Sorry. Lights are out for the night. Have been for a few hours.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, he's not like me, okay? His dragons are nocturnal. For those of you guys that don't know, my lights just turned on. But no, I'm not going to show you my dragons because I got a whole setup now and a light behind me and a tripod and microphone. I'm not going to adjust all that just to show you guys dragons. Contain yourself. If you guys want to see dragons, follow us. Go hit up the Instagram. Yeah. We got almost 20 people all night long. So if you're not following me, go follow me. If you're not following Josh, go get Josh to follow at FearlessExotics. And if you're not following Bobby, go hit him up at Liberty_Dragons, you guys. Tonight was a great night. Actually, we had one of the best turnouts ever. And we still got people joining. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
And thank you again for coming on, Bobby. I know it was kind of last minute, but we appreciate you for coming on. I'm sure we'll have you on again, man.
Nah, man, I was stoked to come on, guys. Had a good time.
Definitely. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. It's hitting 7 o'clock, so that's our hour, guys. Thank you, Bobby, so much for coming on, sharing that hour with us. All that information. It's great having you guys on. Remember, Bobby's out of Philadelphia, right? Correct?
Yep.
All right, yep. Philadelphia. So we're going to have breeders from all over the U.S. and some Canadian breeders. I haven't booked anybody outside of Canada and the U.S. yet. So, so far, just Canada and the U.S. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in tonight. It was one of the best nights we had. I had a great time talking to you, Bobby. It was great. You know, this information you guys should be paying for, and it's free, and it's going to be uploaded to YouTube, and you'll be able to check it out on Redzone Reptiles YouTube page. Episode 16 of the Pogona Experience podcast. Another great one in the books. Josh, you want to sign us out?
Yeah, guys, like always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching and supporting us. We're getting bigger and bigger, and it's crazy. We've been on doing this for 16 weeks. So, again, we appreciate the love. Again, Bobby, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you next Monday.
Bobby, you want to say a little goodbye before we sign out?
Nah, just, you know, here we go. Breeding season's upon us. Everyone, like you say, if you're not following, follow already, and
buy some babies.
I'm excited for this season. I'm ready to see some dope dragons this year.
And if you guys are looking for wits, go hit up Liberty Dragons. He's going to have some hets. So if you want to produce those in a year or two You're looking for an investment in wits, go hit up Bobby. Have a great night, guys.